Hey, howdy, hey, friends and neighbors, Scott here, and today let's talk about tulips. Because, there's a lot going on in the world right now. We've got economic troubles, we've got COVID shenanigans, we've got political unrest, we've got rising food prices. Have you noticed that? The food prices are going up. So, I think that now, more than it's been in a long time, foraging is a really good, let's call it a hobby, like, to get into. It might start as a hobby, it might end up as something more than a hobby, but it's a really good thing to get into right now. And I want to, help you see what's edible. One of the things that's edible is tulips. Now, tulips may not be a plant that you think about foraging because you don't typically see those big, cup-shaped tame tulips just outgrowing wild unless you, live where they're farmed, if you're out in Holland or something. There are native tulips across America, across multiple countries. They don't always look like the ones you might buy at the flower center or from a plant catalog with that cup-shaped bloom. They'll all have 3 petals, 3 sepals, so it looks like, they look like 6 petals. Very often have that cup-shaped bloom. Not always. Sometimes they're more open, a star-like bloom. But everything in the tulip genus, the Tulipa genus, is edible if prepared correctly. Not every part of the plant, but, well, let's just dive into it. Okay, so what parts of the tulip are edible? The petals of the bloom are edible. Very sad to eat those because they're very pretty to look at. And the bulb is edible with some cautions and preparations. As far as I'm aware, you cannot eat the stem or the leaves. There may be a way to prepare them that makes them edible, but I'm not currently aware of it at the time of this filming. The petals are easy. You just eat them. You can cook them. They probably are going to lose their color. I don't think there's a lot of nutrition in the petals. I don't really know. But the bulb, see, the bulb is an energy storage organ for the plant, so that's where it's going to store all of the calories, all the energy, the stuff that's going to keep you and me alive. At least some species of tulips have a bulb that is edible raw, but I'm not 100% sure of which ones those are, so I would just go with the cooked route. You can do whatever you want. You're a grown-up, you're your own self, but you're making that choice, not me. So take responsibility for your own dumb choices, and when you poison yourself, don't blame it on me. Of course, it would be best to get tulips that haven't been sprayed with pesticides, herbicides, anything like that. Take your bulb, and you want to take off the outer skin and the core of the bulb. So you can cut it in half. That middle part is probably going to be green. That's where the new stem and the new leaves are going to come out of. It's real easy just to peel that out. And then you can probably just peel that outer skin off, but I just take the outermost layer, and that way I know that I've got everything off of it. Then you boil it like you would a potato. I brought this up to boil, and then I let it simmer for half an hour. As far as tenderness, it was ready in about 10 minutes. But since the cooking can help to neutralize or to pull out toxins if they are present, I let it go for the full half hour. Just take them out of the water, pour the water away. The taste and texture are pretty comparable to a bland mashed potato. Now, some extra caution, some people are just allergic to tulips and they're just going to have a reaction. If you've ever been planting tulips and you get a rash on your fingers from touching the bulb, probably don't want to eat the bulbs because that's probably going to happen, but inside your body, and that's not good. Also, eating them in large quantities can cause indigestion and other problems. Some people just have bad reactions to them, and that's why it's always smart to start out with a very tiny portion of a plant anytime it's a new plant to you. If you've never eaten tulips before, always start out with just a nibble. Wait a few hours, make sure nothing happens. Then you can get a bigger bite. Wait a few more hours, make sure nothing happens, until you're sure that you can handle it and it's not going to cause a problem. Should you spy out which neighbors have tulips growing in their yard this spring? Yes, you should. Because they're going to be really pretty, right? Not because you're going to go and steal them when the zombie apocalypse happens. But if your neighbor happens to get turned into a zombie and they're not doing anything with their tulips, maybe you want those. And maybe you might want to plant some tulips to make your house very, very pretty, and to know that in the event of hard times, you could dig those suckers up and cook them and eat them. So that's it for tulips. You can let me know what you think. And if you're interested in supporting me and my fighting the zombie apocalypse efforts, maybe throwing some money at me, I always love that. Or if you want extra content, because we have an extra abbreviated Forager's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse document, an abbreviated Herbalist Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse document. There's the series on poisonous plants, which is not a how-to guide, although every time I put a video up, I feel nervous about it. That's all on there. So you can check that out, or, you know, buy a shirt or a thing. I'm not wearing any of those today, but I have a new design on the store, and I've ordered a sample, so when it gets in, I'm going to wear that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video real soon. Bye!